Hey everybody, it's Kim Danke, the Shibboleth new member fast track instructor. I hope you've had a great day. Hey Deb, glad you're on here. If you are in the Zoom room, please set your chat to everyone so that we can all see what you type, and then just take a second to say hello. Let me know that you're here, where you're from. If you've had a second perfect day on Shibboleth maybe, or maybe your 40th. Hey Sabrina, glad you're here. If you are on Facebook, please take a second to say hello. Hey Bob, I see you on there. Take a second to say hello. And if you're a member, please share. Please take a second to share, hit that share button, and let us know. And help us get the word out about Shibboleth. We actually are having a flash sale today. A one-day flash sale, $69 for our founder's birthday. And that ends tonight at midnight, and then the price goes up. The price will be $199 for lifetime after tonight, and then it'll be $99 annually. And that $99 annually is more like our normal price. So $69 for a lifetime is really, really good. Okay. So I would go ahead and get that. You can get that at shibbolethdeals.com, shibbolethdeals.com. And if you heard about Shibboleth from a person, please write in their first and last name in the spot where it says hello. Hey, Karen, glad you're here. Hey, Becky. Hey, Patty Bass. Hey, Barbara. Hello, perfect day number 2 for Barbara. That is awesome. And then we've got Rachel and Chris from Florida in here in the Zoom room. Fantastic. That is awesome. Let's see. Hey, Janet from Louisiana, 9th perfect day in a row and down 8 pounds in 8 days. Woohoo. That is awesome. Janet, way to go. Way to go. I ended up with a holiday today because guess why? I ate too many almonds. So I went over my portion on almonds. I love nuts, and sometimes it is hard to stop. It is hard to stop, and I overate some almonds. Now, I didn't eat the whole bag, which is actually pretty good for me. I did not eat the whole bag. I stopped, and I am not going to continue on with a holiday, but it was a holiday because I went over my portions. Now, I still had a holiday to use in the month, so it worked out. I'm still within my guidelines, but I want y'all to know that things like that happen. And I have a very strong desire to go in there and have some ice cream after this because I've marked it as a holiday, because it feels like, ooh, I should take advantage of everything I can on one day. It's really not the smartest thing to do, especially since tomorrow is the first day of a new month. And I like to see how I ended a month before. I should have stayed strong and not eaten those extra almonds, but I didn't. Let's see. Rachel says I should say I'm in Ohio. Well, welcome. And just joined yesterday. Well, we're so glad that you're here, Rachel. I am going to show you when we get over into Fast Track some things that I want to make sure that you've done too. Okay. I'm glad you're here, and hearing what we have to say tonight will help, but I want to make sure that you know what you need to do, kind of like some prerequisite stuff that you can go back and do. Hey, Beth and Janet. I love that Janet says, way to go, Janet. Janet from Louisiana. She says, way to go, Janet. That's cute. I love it. She is celebrating herself. Way to go, Janet. From Janet. Hey, Deb. Yes, Deb is welcoming Rachel. She's going to love it. And hey, Leisha from South Carolina. Oh, that's funny. Oh, it says right there, way to go, Janet. That's funny. You didn't say that. Look back up there. There's another Janet Wilson on here then. It does say on my end. I'm gonna have to screenshot this because this is funny. This is really funny. Sorry, I am entertaining myself. Okay, so let's see. Patty Bass, you better stop. That's what you'd tell me to do and go to bed. Oh, yes. Now, Patty, I am not having any ice cream. I am not doing that. I have still gotten all my water in. My holiday is totally because I ate too many almonds. And I have a little apple cider vinegar in here with a grape Zevia. Grape Zevia. Oh, Janet, I know now what happened. Remember, I told you that was your link and it would look like it was you. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. Well, hello to Janet's friend. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and get started tonight. Janet's friend, I'm Kim Danke, the Shibboleth new member fast track instructor. Okay, so Rachel and anybody else that has just started, we want to make sure that you have done lap 1 and lap 2. Now, what I want you to know about this curriculum here, it's called Fast Track, and it's not meant to be overwhelming. In fact, it's meant to be able to be completed in an organized way on your own time frame, but hopefully within a week's time. Okay, so that's why I go live every night. But you can find that by clicking on Fast Track. I mean Dashboard. And then if you're brand new, Fast Track will automatically show up. If you are here for a refresh, you might have to click on Fast Track. Okay. Awesome. Awesome, Rachel. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. So those of you who are watching on Facebook, got quite a few on Facebook over there. If you are on Facebook, please know that I want you to go back and do lap 1 and lap 2. These are not hard things to do. Some of these things take mere seconds to do. Some of them take a little bit longer because they're printing things and you'll want to read them. And then some of these are just confirming your email, finding your ideal weight. Some of these things take seconds to do as well. Complete a full body assessment, that might take a little bit longer. So just you methodically work your way through these. You have the little black box that pops up for each task. You read the black box so you'll know why you're doing that task. And then once you've done this, you just simply come and check. So it's an organized way to know what you are doing. And what we're doing tonight is we're going to do lap 3. Now, as you are working through this right here, let me go back to lap 2 real quick. If you happen to miss any of the videos this week, they're all going to be housed right here. Watch the daily fast track webinars. There are 7. So technically you shouldn't click this one off until Saturday, or if you get really excited during the week and just want to go ahead and watch them all, they're all there from last week. They're all there. So you could go ahead and watch them there. But Sunday night's webinar is the lifestyle overview, and Monday night's webinar is the simple food combining webinar. They're right there. You want to make sure that you watch these 2 right here, and then this one is tonight's. So they're actually already sitting there waiting for you. They're just last week's version. Okay, lap 3. So as a reminder, there's a little tutorial right here on each of the laps just to show you how to do those things, because it never hurts to hear something in a different way or watch it again when you are learning something new. You want to remember that we have a massive amount of unlearning to do. And sometimes we are stuck. We're stuck in a pattern, or we're committed. Let me just say we're committed. Sometimes we're committed to a pattern that keeps us in a rut, and we got to break that pattern and get out of that. So it takes a moment to learn everything, but you got to start applying it every day and you'll get the results. Okay. So the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at the bottom 2 lists here, because I want you to see a worksheet that I created for you to write your favorites lists on and to create your own meals. So if you can print this, if you do not have a printer, just use it as a template and create your own on a piece of paper. It's totally fine. Print and use the attached worksheet to begin creating lists of your personal favorite foods in each list. The great thing about this worksheet is that you can print and create as many as you need. If you do not have a printer, you can use the idea of the worksheet for a template and write this on your own paper. I should probably just read the black box. I just know it by heart now. I start saying it. So what I do suggest to people sometimes is make one focused on breakfast. Make another one focused on lunch and make a third one focused on dinner. Okay, let's see. Angelia, hello, pray for us in Haywood County. We're under another flood watch. Okay, sorry about that, Angelia. I know it's rough out there. Man, the weather here was very, very rainy too. Yes, so I am sorry about that, Angelia. We'll keep you in our prayers. So when we click right here, this is what the worksheet looks like. Okay, so it's got some color to it. And if you don't want to print in color, just hit black and white before you print it. But you are going to make your favorites list of lean proteins, your favorites list of fibrous carbs, energy carbs, protein plus fats, fruit, superfoods, and shellfish. So you make your favorites list. Obviously, if you don't have a favorite in, like you don't eat shellfish, you won't have to worry about filling in that column. Okay. Then what you're going to do is come down here and you're going to build meals. It is as simple as picking something. Let's say this 1 and 7s are lean proteins. So it's as simple as picking something from what I call the bookends of the program. The categories. Picking something from those, either one of those categories, and picking something from this fibrous carb category, doctor it up with the right condiments and cook it up in the appropriate oil. If you have MCT oil, use that. It'll make it be the fastest fat burning combination. But make yourself about 7 meals. Now, these kind of are super simple little meals like chicken and green beans or shrimp scampi and asparagus or, whatever. These are simple, simple meals. But you don't have to stay simple, but it's not a bad idea to be simple for the first 7 to 10 days. Get yourself some results under your belt while you are continuing to learn and live the lifestyle, okay? Let's see, Gina, you're welcome. Oh, no, Patty did it. I said, oh, that's funny. Okay, and then over here on this side, you're going to pick a lean protein, a fibrous carb, and an energy carb. Right here, pick a lean protein, a fibrous carb, and fruit. Right here, you pick some protein plus fat with some fibrous carbs. And right here, you're going to pick some superfood with some fibrous carbs. So this is just building meals from these lists. Okay, so what does Fast Track ask you to do? It says to create your lists. So once you have written in the lists, you simply check this box right here. Let me uncheck them so we can check them. Okay. And then once you have created the meals on that worksheet or on your own paper, you simply check that box. This is a practice that you're going to want to do to make sure that you have some ideas and you know what food combining is. That leads you through the steps of combining some foods. And if you just do those little steps, you'll have great success. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to talk about the timing chart real quick, and then we're going to go in the food library. So the timing chart, I want you to click on the weekly timing chart above to view your personal timing chart. The link in this task is to a video on how to use the timing chart to your benefit. Your timing chart is going to be an extremely valuable tool for you. It is a great visual as to whether or not you're doing your best. On your first and second perfect days, you're going to see a green check. On your third perfect day, you're going to see a flame. You are now an EFB, baby. Your body can now burn fat efficiently until you have a holiday. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like when you click this link, because remember I said clicking that link takes you to a video. Okay, so it takes you to a video. You click there and it's just a video of me talking to you about the timing chart for 4 minutes. Okay, so that's that. But where I really want you to click is I want you to click right up here where it says weekly timing chart, this real pretty bright blue one right in the center. When you click there, this is this month. This is the month I've had this month, which is pretty good. Okay, so let's go back to when I started, because this is going to make more sense for everybody as they're getting started in Shibboleth. I started on a Wednesday, April 10th, and when I journaled, see this little spot right here, your journal? When you journal what type of day you are having, the computer system knows what type of icon to give you. You don't have to worry about putting that icon in there. It just comes in there based on you telling it what type of day you're having. Okay, so this is my very first perfect day. This is a green check. And this is my second perfect day. It's a green check. What's happening during those two perfect days is insulin is being dissipated, out of your body. It's going away. And any glycogen, which is sugar, stores, any glycogen that's in your liver and in your muscles is being used as energy and being used up. And so what happens is on that third day, when you mark that you are having a perfect day, it's going to give you a flame and you are now in efficient fat burning, or I say EFB, baby, efficient fat burning. So you get this little flame right here. Now, this means that your body, when it needs energy, which it does all day long, every single day, it's going to have to access the stored energy that's on your body because you aren't giving it easily accessible sources of energy, such as unapproved oils or unapproved starchy and sugary carbs. And so it's going to have to use the stored energy. That's how you lose weight. You access and use the stored energy that's already sitting there. So you know what a calorie is? It's a unit of energy. And when we overeat, we are just having excess units of energy on our body. And if they don't get burned off on the same day, really, they just get stored. Okay. So we have a little bit of storage going on. So you've got to access that stored energy rather than giving your body easily accessible sources of energy. So then what you want to do is you want to string as many efficient fat burning days together as you can. And there you go. Started stringing some efficient fat burning days together. And then planned or unplanned, you're going to have a holiday. This was Easter. I went to Alabama for Easter. I ate the yummy food over there. And then I know now to get right back to business because Shibboleth is a management system. I don't keep on eating on Monday how I ate on Saturday and Sunday for a special holiday, Easter. So there is my holiday. And then right here, I had watched some videos over Easter weekend about intermittent fasting. And this is an intermittent fasting icon. And then I string as many efficient fat burning days together as I can. Now you're going to see some little gray boxes in these little squares, and we're going to come down here and look at those symbols. So E indicates an exercise challenge. W means you entered a weight. P means you added a progress photo. M means that you updated your measurements. C, you participated in a challenge. J, you requested a journal review from one of our 5-star rated mentors. And 1 through 10 indicates your motivational level for doing the lifestyle. Okay, so you'll see those entered there. Then you go into another month. Now, I really do see this as a management system. So I started early on asking myself 3 questions, and tomorrow is September 1st. So this will be a good time to plan next month. Okay. Ask yourself a couple of questions. 1, are you going out of town? Because most of the time when people are going out of town, they want to have a holiday, or either they just have less control or they just want to do what they want to do. But you need to plan for it. You need to plan for it. If it's at the end of the month and you're going to be out of town for 6 days, which is using up all of your holidays when you're in weight loss mode, you got to be perfect all the way to those last 6 days. Okay. So it's management. Then I asked myself, are there any birthdays or anniversaries that I might want to celebrate? Is there an actual holiday in that month that I want to celebrate? And I mark it down. And then I look at the rest of my calendar, my personal calendar. Do I have any other functions, whether it's personal or work, that I might want to make a plan for? And if so, I mark all that on my calendar. At that point, sometimes there's more than 6 days that you've marked, and you've got to narrow it down and determine which days you want. Now, keep in mind too, you do not have to use all 6 days. They're just available to you. Okay. So I knew that we were going to a wedding right here, and y'all, this Shibboleth thing was working, and I thought, let me maximize what I'm doing. And so I just strung all those EFB days together. And then I went to a wedding and had holidays. And then on this day right here, you can see that there's not 2 checks right here, because if you do intermittent fasting, it can help get you back into efficient fat burning faster. But I want you to know in the beginning, I don't even really want you to concern yourself with that. Just keep in mind, perfect day, back in EFB. Okay, so just remember 2 days to get back into efficient fat burning. And let me just tell you, even when I get this little sign right here, this little intermittent fasting sign right there, I just consider that's a green check, and there I'm back in EFB. So that way I just kind of mentally don't expect to see anything on the scale until I get back, past that point. Just helps me a little bit. So then we went into the month of June, and I wasn't going anywhere. There weren't any special days. And so I just had all perfect days. And then we get to July. And in July, I thought, okay, you know what? I'll have a holiday on July 4th. Well, as I started thinking through what I was going to eat on July 4th, I could make it all approved. But what I did on July 4th, and I mentioned I would tell y'all this, I had just been doing breakfast, lunch, and dinner on all of those efficient fat burning days previously. On July 4th, I added in an extra and a snack. I felt like I was having a holiday, but everything was approved and portion controlled, and it was still an EFB day, but I felt like I was having a holiday because I wasn't used to doing that. So that's kind of a little neat tip there. So somewhere in this month, I had lost 35.5 pounds, which was my goal originally. And then I just started living the lifestyle, and I put myself into maintenance mode, which in maintenance, you can use up to 12 holidays. I started having, just little bits and pieces here and there and doing little things that I wanted to do. I continued to do that. And even on into September, I was doing that. I lost another 15 pounds. So my body actually wanted to lose 50. And that's what I have been maintaining now for 2 years. And it's awesome. So this timing chart is very, very important. In fact, one of the first things I do in the morning is I wake up, boom, what type of day I'm having, because I want to set my mindset right then. I want to set my mindset right then. Okay, so that's your timing chart. So once you have familiarized yourself with that and you know how important it is to journal so that you can use that timing chart, then you can go ahead and check this box off. Y'all, there's going to be a day where you don't lose some weight, and you need to not let that bother you, okay? If you've been doing the whole thing right, don't think that just because you don't see the scale go down one day that it's over. Okay, it just might be requiring a couple of more days to get your body where it needs to be. Plus, sometimes we're holding on to water. There's could be some food in there that isn't completely digested, all kinds of things. So if you have a day where you don't lose weight, look at that timing chart and say, I know I've been doing the right things. I am doing my best. I am not going to let the scale determine my mood, and I am going to just move along knowing I should be eating like this anyway. Okay, so now we're going to start playing with the food library. Just to remind everybody who is new, if you have not taken that little test at the end of these little 14 videos, if you didn't take it there, I also give you an opportunity to take it right there at the bottom of lap 2 before we get into lap 3, because once you pass that test, you'll have full access to the food library, the recipe library, and the restaurant guide if you are a journey level member and up. If you are a fast track member, you would need to upgrade to and if you're a fast track member, today would be a great day to upgrade to a full membership, because it's $69 for a lifetime. Okay. But if you're not seeing the full food library, make sure that you've taken that test, so it will open that up for you. Okay, so y'all, I used to be a school teacher and a principal. You're going to see a lot of things in here that seem very school-like. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with treating this like it's school, because school is organized in a way that will help you learn things, and that's what this is. So we're going to read this little black pop-up box. One of the best ways to familiarize yourself with the food library is to do the following brainstorming activity. Take a blank sheet of paper and write down, in no particular order, all the foods that you can think of, like, or eat on a regular basis. Then look up those foods on your paper and write down which category each item is found. So for example, let's say that you wrote down beef. Well, if you just type in beef, you're actually going to find several different categories, and you'll write some on your, maybe you write category 1 and you write category 4. Maybe you wrote lima beans on your paper. You're going to put a 3 next to it. So you're just going to kind of look them all up at that point. After you've done that, take another sheet of paper or the worksheet that we just showed you earlier tonight and organize your list by categories. As you are exploring, please heart each food item you like or you think you might like to try. Now, the reason that it's important to heart even the things that maybe you've never seen before, but they look curious to you and you think you might like to try it, go ahead and heart those, because it will move it into your own personal food library, and it'll be much easier to find it again, especially if it's not something that you're familiar with. If you find out after you've tried that item that you don't like it, all you got to do is unheart it and it'll move it back out of your food library, okay? So it's just much easier to find the foods once they are moved into your food library. So I clicked there. This has taken us to the food library. When you are no longer in a fast track, you're going to find the food library right here in this green tab, resources, foods, and recipes. Okay, so we are having a look here at this page. Now it looks different if you're on your phone. If you're on your phone, you're seeing it listed out over here on the right-hand side. See how you've got the categories listed down like that without the paragraphs, but on your computer, you would get this other center part as well. So whenever you come to a new page on Shibboleth, most everything that's going to be new is always going to be underneath these beautiful colored tabs. Okay, so that's the part you're looking at for that page. If there's a paragraph up there for you to read, read it. It's important. Okay, so right here, do you see where it says my favorites? If I clicked there, this would take me to all of the foods that I have personally hearted before. So there's my little list right there. I can even search my list by what is the best weight loss meter. What the weight loss meter is, it's a secondary way for us to look at food. So or categorize food, because all whole foods that roam the earth or grow from the earth or swim in the oceans, they get categorized through category 1 through 7, and even some man-made foods, they get categorized category 1 through 7. But there's another way to look at foods. Once they're in those categories, there's still a hierarchy of which one's better for weight loss or not, and that weight loss meter will help you do that. The weight loss meter goes from a -3, as you can see right there, goes from a -3 to a +3. Right in the center is 0, not going to help you, not going to hurt you. Negative numbers are better for weight loss, and the more negative, the better it is. The positive numbers, if it is eaten in weight loss mode, is not going to throw you out of efficient fat burning. You just wouldn't want to do that breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 7 days a week, because you won't get the results that you want. A lot of those are just saved for a special treat or in maintenance. But I clicked right here and this organized this. Now, some of these things you can see just didn't even have a weight loss meter at all, because the weight loss meter came in second and some of these things just hadn't been marked, okay? Because Travis continues to have ideas and do things, and you got to go back and keep working at fixing up some of the things. So here's your -3. See how it listed them out? It reorganized the list by -3, and then I could just keep going. I've got pages and pages of hearted foods down here, but it organized that. And then if I'm looking for something specific, right there where it says WLM is where I clicked to organize that, right there on the WLM. And then if I want to look for something specific, let's say I want to look for things that have chicken in it, I can use that search bar right there. I typed chicken, and now we're going to give it just a second. And now, now it's pulled up anything that has the word chicken in the title. So we got deli roasted chicken. There's the word chicken. There's chicken, chicken, chicken. So it organized it for me, and it kept it organized, which was awesome. Okay, so let's go back to the food library. Another way that you can search for things is just to use this search bar. See how I've got a lot of things listed here. So if I just wanted to search for hemp or almonds, y'all can tell I like almonds because I overate them tonight. Carb Quick, you want to search for those things, you just type it in and then you click the button and it'll search for those things. That's one way to search. And I don't use the filters here. I use the filters. It'll be the same filters, but I use the filters once I get over into a category. So you're going to have your category 1 lean protein there, and there's a paragraph about it. I would read the paragraph. Yeah, Dawn, it's really cool that we can organize that. Read the paragraph. Read this little paragraph. See, everything that you read, it adds to, you're building a framework of knowledge, and everything that you read adds to the little framework of knowledge and really builds a nice framework of understanding why you're doing certain things. Okay, so you've got the same things listed in the center as are listed down on the side over here. So let's just keep coming down. These are things that are recently added. So if you want to kind of come ever so often and look at the things that were recently added, that'll be on the lower right-hand side. And where I'm going right now, and look, we even have pizza, because we know that's a popular thing. So we have all the pizza right in one spot. There's the milks, there's salad dressings, flour and breadings. There's all Atkins stuff right there. And if you needed if you're gluten-free, there you go. And we come on down here and there's coach mode meals. Coach mode meals, there is a place in your journal, not in your journal, in your profile that you can mark that you want to be really, really, really strict and use coach mode meals. I actually don't mark that I want to be that strict, but I do use a lot of these meals. So let's click here. And this is a really great place to find some super simple things to get started with. And I'm not going to read them all and maybe do 3, but I am going to scroll down just so you can see. Look at all those ideas of meals. We've got Chick-fil-A in here. Okay, so let's just keep coming on down. We just come on down. You can see there's lots and lots of ideas, all the way down to even Zaxby's included on there. Okay, so if you wanted to go to Zaxby's and get the Zaxby's grilled chicken salad, you could click there and it'll tell you exactly how to order it. So let's say that you wanted to make a recipe. There's the unstuffed cabbage roll recipe. If you click right here on this link, it'll take you to the recipe. I'm not going to do that right now. Let's say that you want to purchase the Special K sausage, quinoa, peppers, mozzarella, and Asiago crustless quiche meal. You can click there. And if you don't know what that looks like, you could just simply click that and go, oh, that's what that looks like. Okay. And you could have one sandwich. And look how specific we are. Consume before 4 p.m. Okay, so some of them say that very, very specifically. If that's something that you thought you might want to try, you can heart that and it'll move it into your favorites list. But tomorrow night, we're going to show you how to create a grocery list. And if I just wanted to simply add something to a grocery list, I could do that. You can come on down and it says right here, this sandwich should be eaten for breakfast or lunch and not dinner. So I love that they tell you even this, because we're helping you with all of the nuance. Yeah, it does look pretty good, Dawn. I think it looks good. And it even tells you what category it's in. This is a meal replacement. You would count it as a meal replacement. So that's how you would journal this item, MR, for meal replacement. And it's also in phase 2 frozen meals. Remember last night that I said that phase 2 didn't really take you to higher quality foods. It takes you to more variety. And this is a 0 on the weight loss meter, but they're saying if you eat it for breakfast or lunch, it still would work as a coach mode meal. So those coach mode meals are pretty cool. And you can just kind of read through there and see if you like any of those. Okay. And anything that you like, write it on your list. You want the never ending food list in case one day you're like, I'm tired of eating the same things I've eaten. Let me look at my list. Or maybe you always just mix it up. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that coach mode meals things was there. Okay, so what I'd like to do real quick is I want y'all to throw out there 3 food items for me to get started with, to look up. Not a recipe, not a recipe. 3 food items, but nothing that's like a recipe. If you do throw out something to me that's like a recipe, I'll still look it up because a lot of recipes are just found in the frozen food section. Okay, oatmeal. Okay, Rachel says oatmeal. We'll look that up. And while I'm waiting on two more, and I'm going to take the first three that I see to start, I'm going to come right over here. Okay, Barbara says chicken. Okay, and I'm going to come over here and I want to show you something. Do you see how right here on the right hand side it says phase 1 cereal, phase 2 cereal, phase 2 frozen meals, and phase 2 soups? I'm not going to look at the phase 2 frozen meals or phase 2 soups with you, but just remember that phase 2 just gives you more variety. Okay, but I am going to look at some phase 1 cereal and phase 2 cereal because I want to point out something if you like cereal. Okay, so phase 1 cereal, there's your list. Do you see that list right there? That's phase 1 cereal. If you happen to use or like an unsweetened almond milk or a soy milk, any approved milk can be used with phase 1 cereals, any approved milk, not just the fat-free Fairlife or Kroger Carb Master milk, not just those milks. Any approved milk will work with these cereals. And a few of these cereals can also be eaten alone, where most cereals you should never eat alone. And I'm thinking, dang, how much all the cereal I've eaten alone in my life, just sit down with the box of cereal and just keep digging in it. And I don't do that anymore. I don't do that. So I just wanted to point out that if you do use a different approved milk than those protein milks, those fat-free protein milks, then you've got to have a phase 1 cereal. Okay. Now, still keep in mind that there's this weight loss meter here. If I want the best of the best in even the phase 1 cereals, I'm going to bring my little ball right here down, and I'm going to set that range to be -3, -1, and I'm going to hit set. And look, that the list didn't cut out much. Okay, so there's a lot of options there. And I really like this AHS Cinnamon Crisp cereal. It's very good. We buy that at the Shibboleth store. And then High-Low Nutritious Living can be found out in quite a few stores. And K's Natural Cereals, the French vanilla, delicious. And this is one that you can eat alone. So we buy that in the Shibboleth store. So I would try to get the more negative there if possible. If you needed to be gluten-free, you can even click that little button. Watch this. It knocked out some other cereals, but see how that's green now? That's because this list is now based on gluten-free, and it is in that lower range. And so if you picked a cereal or tried some cereal from there, that would be great. All right, but let's go look at phase 2 cereal real quick. And I'm still waiting on one more food item if somebody wants to throw it in there. Some food that you got on your list that you want to know what category it goes in. That's what I want you to throw in the list, okay? So phase 2 cereal. Now it's a little bit longer, right? Look. And I can even click this show more button. And there's the end of the list. Okay, so it's not a never-ending list, but it's a pretty nice size list. You see Captain Crunch on there, you see Cheerios on there, you see a lot of General Mills cereals on there. I mean, Lucky Charms is on there, okay? But when you're looking at these listings, okay, Karen says peanut butter and Janet says ice cream. Oh, and we've got Brussels sprouts and chili beans. Okay, awesome. Thank y'all, good. That Bran Crisp, Karen, is category 2. Category 2, fibrous carb, that Bran Crisp, the Scandinavian Bran Crisp bread. Now, this cereal, this is how you look at these listing. Okay, each one of these is linked to a larger description, a larger image of everything, and you can click on it. But when you're looking at this says 365 protein and fiber cereal. I think that's that Whole Foods brand. But see, you got your 0 there. The blue box is always the weight loss meter. So if you're scanning down through there, what number are you seeing mostly? You're seeing a lot of zeros. So, it's not quite the best for it. And then if you heart it, you'll see that you've got your own personal little hearts right there. And then this number is also the number of people who marked this that they liked it. And then if you wanted to add it to a grocery list, it's there. Now, remember, we're going to talk about creating a grocery list tomorrow night because you have to have a grocery list created first before you add anything to it. And we'll talk about that tomorrow night. But let's say that you're thinking, what is Captain Crunch's sprinkled donut crunch? Okay. So you click there and then you go, oh, that's that. Well, do you see that lists the category? Look what it says it is. It says it's a perfect pairing. You know what a perfect pairing is? It is something that does not follow the rules, but Travis has determined that if you do it just as it's described in this page, that it will still work. Okay, that's what a perfect pairing item is. But let me show you real quick. If we go into, I'm gonna look at the combination chart. Oh, it's not on that one. Hang on. We go into this combination chart right here. What's these two letters? P, for perfect pairing. Look what column it's in. It's a blue column thing. Now, this is still good weight loss, but I wouldn't eat that Captain Crunch cereal every single day and expect to see really great weight loss. Okay, so that would be just a little treat. And it also has listed that it's a phase 2 cereal. 1 cup is approved. And y'all see this red button right here? Anytime you see this button, if you buy it on Amazon, it helps the Shibboleth lifestyle a little bit. But let me just tell you a trick. If you click on here, it's going to take you to Amazon. Even if you don't put this cereal or anything from the Shibboleth website into your Amazon cart, but let's say you go buy a computer or a webcam or a calculator or scissors or random construction paper, Shibboleth will get a little bit of credit for it, 2 to 4 cents on the dollar, depending on the item. You don't even have to. So I try to get everybody to use this red find it on Amazon button just to get to Amazon, even if you don't buy the item that you use the link for. Does that all make sense? That makes sense to everybody? That helps the ministry, the Shibboleth ministry. If you ever see a green button on here that says buy it in our store, that will definitely help us. Okay, so you're never required to buy anything from Shibboleth, but if you felt so led to do that, it really does help us, and we're not that much more expense. Awesome, Janet. Thank you. Thank you. So we come down here, there's a description. Must, we tell you exactly what to do. We don't leave anything to chance. See the first line in this little image right over here. You can't see it because I'm really small right now. It says keep them safe. We tell you these things to keep you safe. When I saw this little picture right here in Hobby Lobby, I was like, that's for my people. So I had to buy that. Must be eaten with 1/2 to 1 cup of Egg Whites International. Now that's egg whites. You might not want to do that, but if you do want to use egg whites as your liquid base, you could, but this is the only one that we are saying we trust to be eaten raw. Okay, you could also use Kroger Carb Master milk or fat-free Fairlife milk. This cereal only works with one of those 3 options. Do not eat it dry. You can improve the nutrition of this meal by adding 1 tablespoon of hemp flakes. That would give you a little bit more protein and fiber. And then if there were any linked recipes, it would be down there. And if anybody had said where they bought it, it would be listed down there. Okay. And we're going to find one that looks like that in a second. Okay, so let's go back to the food library. And at least I just wanted to show you and talk about the difference between phase 1 and phase 2 cereals. Yes, and Janet says the Shibby store is awesome and you get your food quickly. Yes, I buy most of my little meal replacements and snacks and extras from the Shibboleth store. Okay, so oatmeal. We're going to look up oatmeal. So oatmeal is a category 3 most of the time. It's a category 3. I want you to have in your head just gone ding, 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 because category 3 must be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. And a lot of people go like, I'm eating oatmeal for weight loss. And you know, if you're not eating it right, it's not helping you with anything. Okay, so look at all of these options that have the word oatmeal in it. Well, I want to see the best. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to -1, -3. A lot of times I'll do -2, -3 because I can always expand my list, but I knew this was going to really narrow down the list. And so I did -1. Okay, so you got this is a Finiflex oatmeal protein pie. Actually, it is my favorite. Yeah, me too, Dawn. I love that. Love that cereal. I eat this thing almost every day for lunch. It's amazing. This health-wise oatmeal is purchased at our Shibboleth store. Let me show you what it looks like to see that option. Right there. See right there where it says find in our store? You can click that and find it in our store. Now, this one would be great for weight loss. Look, right there. It's a -3 on the weight loss meter. It's a meal replacement. One package is half a snack, or 2 packages as a snack or a meal replacement. So it can be used as both. And you would just come down here and look at that. And look, there's even a couple of recipes that are linked to that particular item. And look, see where it says where to buy? If I just real quick add it, I just added a listing. You'll see that it gave me a listing now down there. So this is member entered data. Where it says where to buy, Shibboleth doesn't enter that data. That's member entered data. So if you go to a restaurant or something right there, it is my favorite, Dawn. I love that oatmeal protein pie. You can mark in where you have found these things and it will help out members. Okay, so let's go back to the oatmeal listing. There's an oatmeal protein pie perfect pairing, the premier protein smooth and creamy shake with oats. And okay, so here's a think fiber and protein oatmeal, because this is probably more like what Rachel is looking for. So this is in a little container with an oatmeal, a banana bread flavored. So this is a category 2 and 3 together. Now, category 2 and 3 together, that means it's got fibrous carbs in it and energy carbs in it. But that makes me think, what am I going to need to do to this to make it approved? Because category 2 and 3 together is not an approved combo. So we're going to scroll down here and we're going to read the description. This oatmeal counts as a 2 and 3 and pairs perfectly with a category 1 lean protein. You can use egg whites or other whole food category 1 to make a great -1 fat burning meal. Or you could have a container alone as a +1 though, +1 on the weight loss meter snack. This would not be my option for a snack. I don't want a +1 weight loss meter snack. The nutrition info is listed for Madagascar vanilla with almonds and pecans, but all flavors are approved. I want to make a very important indication here. Look, pair with egg whites or other whole food category 1. Whole food category 1. So to me, that doesn't mean I could eat it with like a, I don't know if that considers milk or not. This is a great question. I'm going to get that. I'm going to answer that. I screenshot everything I got questions about, and then I ask later. But you just want to look for those type of little details because they're telling you something important for that. So I would just pair this with egg whites. But the reason I'm questioning it, and I'll show you why. Let's go back, and I'm going to expand my list just a little bit. I'm going to see if it pulls up the Quaker fiber and protein, because I know it says something a little bit different. There's the Quaker fiber and protein instant oatmeal. Okay, it's a 0 on the weight loss meter. Look, it says it's a 2 and a 3. So ding, ding, ding. That is not an approved combo. You need to keep reading for what would work. Okay. Can be counted as a category 2 and a 3 or just a 3. If you call it just a 3, you're still going to have it. You're going to add a 1 and a 2 to it. If you wanted just scrambled egg whites with your oatmeal, it would be a category 2 and 3. Because if you were putting egg whites with this, that would be a 1, 2, and 3 at that point. But if you wanted to have an omelet with some great veggies, then you could just count that as a category 3. Technically, it doesn't matter. It's still going to be a 1, 2, 3. You could have this meal with a protein shake. See, they're giving you another option than that think one. See, this is where you got to know, don't just assume that a product that is similar can be used. For example, the Mighty Muffin is a really good example because Mighty Muffins they're delicious and they're approved and they are well loved on planet Shibboleth. But if you go into the store and you see those Kodiak cakes and the little muffins and you think, oh, I'll buy that one, they're not approved. Even though they look similar to the Mighty Muffin, they're not the same product, so they're not approved. Now, there's some other Kodiak products that are, but not the Kodiak muffins. Which oatmeal, Dawn? This one, I've tried this one before, but if you're asking about a previous one, because I just saw your question, let me know which one. So right here, see, this is very important. You can have this with a protein shake, egg whites, or Kroger Carb Master for a category 1, 2, 3 perfect combination. And it would be a 0 weight loss meter meal. So you can do oatmeal. I just wouldn't have it every single day. And then I'm not going to continue reading this because literally I could go on till midnight doing all of this. But I do this to show you that the details are there for you. And the reason that you write your own personal brainstormed list is so that you then go through the food library only focusing on the foods you like, okay, and making any important notes that you need to. And if you come down here, there's a lot of people, a lot of places that is purchased. Okay. All right, so let's look up chicken. Okay, so there's 469 results that have the word chicken in there. Of course, the reason being is chicken's a lean protein. And so, I mean, it can also be if you use dark meat chicken or chicken with skin, that's a category 4 protein plus fat, but chicken breast is the other. So just to narrow it down, I'm going to bring this down all the way to -2, -3 and hit the set button. So it's got a lot of thinking to do. Please don't be happy clicker. If you're happy clicker, you slow it down. Okay, so let it do its thinking and then look at all that. That's all still there. Lots and lots of great options when it comes to having things with chicken in it. Okay. But I'm sure that we want to just look right here. 2 to 8 ounces of chicken breast. Okay, it's a category 1 lean protein. I know that I like chicken breast, so I gave it 5 stars. I've hearted it. It's a -3 on the weight loss meter. The approved portion is 2 to 8 ounces. We'll scroll down right here. There's a little description of it. And then look at all these recipes that include chicken. There's 13 pages of recipes that include chicken. And if you wanted to make this list be more organized and see which ones are the most negative weight loss meter meal, you click right there. Now, again, some of them are not marked and you just have to ask us if you're curious about a certain one or not worry about it because they're probably really good. But there we go. There starts your best ones. So what I like to do is I'll look to see which one's a -3 and which one also has the most number of likes. That's a good way to do it. And then down below, people have marked where they've bought chicken. So you can see chicken is bought at a lot of places. So people went in and put that in there. So that's how you look up chicken. Let's look up peanut butter. That was a Facebook request. Okay, so it returned 121 results. And look, I already starting to see some ones, some zeros, some ones. Okay, so peanut butter can definitely work for weight loss, but let's get the right one. Okay, now any natural peanut butter that does not include hydrogenated vegetable oil in its ingredients list is approved. It's that simple. But there's a hierarchy of peanut butter, which ones are the best. So I'm going to scoot this little thing down to -2, -3. The reason I keep doing that is because it's easier to make decisions when you have a smaller list. Then you can always expand your list to get a few more options. But if you have a big giant list, sometimes you're like, man, there's a lot to choose from. So let's just narrow and then expand. Well, look, this took me down to just 1 peanut butter. So there's no -3 peanut butters. There's a -2 one right there. PB Fit peanut butter powder. Okay, let's expand this just a little bit and see what we get in the -3 to -1 range. Okay, so there's some more options. If this better than peanut butter is a -1, if you are looking for quantity of peanut butter, I would get this one. This one has fewer calories and less fat in it, but the way that they manufactured it. And so this one's pretty good for weight loss, and you can use 4 tablespoons per meal or 2 for a snack, where all other peanut butters, 2 tablespoons for a meal, if you're putting it with, bread and all that kind of stuff, and 1 tablespoon for a snack. So better than peanut butter is really, really good. Then the next one would be, and it looks like it's not even on there, but it's higher. Nuts and More. Nuts and More is the second one, and then the Peanut Butter and Company. So those are the ones that we kind of recommend mostly. All right, so let's have a look at Brussels sprouts. I hope I spelled that right. That's one of those words that you're like, is it Brussels or Brussels or Brussels sprouts? Okay, let's click here. And it's a category 2 fibrous carb. It's also a freebie, and this is a gluten-free product. In weight loss mode, I would not go more than a half a cup, okay? And when you see that something is a category 2 and a freebie, it just means that if you're using it with a meal, you call it a fibrous carb. If it is used in a moment of mental weakness, you call it a freebie. And you come down here and there would be more description about it. And if there's any linked recipes, there you go. You'd have your linked recipes. And people have put in that they have bought Brussels sprouts at all of those places. So they're a category 2 or they're a fibrous carb. All right, let's put in chili beans. Chili beans. So we've got Bush's Best chili beans. These are black beans. And you might be going, okay, that sounds good. Or maybe you're like, no, I want to see other chili beans. But these are a category 6 superfood. Oh, and these could also be used as a condiment. So what that means is if you just wanted to have a little bit of beans on the top, if you don't use more than 50 calories total, this could be part of a condiment. Or it could be a category 6 superfood. That means it could be eaten alone. A cup to a cup and a half could be eaten alone. If you're going to combine that with other things, then you would, of course, not be able to have a cup to a cup and a half. It wouldn't fit underneath your hands. And it says you can have a quarter cup if combining with another protein. Up to 1 cup if you're having it as your only protein source, or up to 1.5 cups if you're eating it as a meal. I love that. I absolutely love that. Look what they tell you to do. It's brilliant. We no longer have to wonder and wander. That's what I like to say. Okay, and then let's just go back and see if these other chili beans are more like what Rachel was looking for. Clover Valley chili beans. Now you'll notice we didn't put a weight loss meter on there. Maybe it's been in there a while and we didn't do that. But again, it's a superfood and a condiment, and this looks more like your red type of chili beans. Okay, ice cream. Ice cream. I don't know why I'm even typing it in there. I already have it. There we go. So you know what I did? I created a grocery list one time with all the ice creams from the entire food library in it. 54 results from that. And what I would do is I would look and see if there's anything that is a negative number. Right now I'm just scanning. I could set my thing, but I'm not. Because right now I'm scanning. I do not see anything that's a negative number. Here's why. Most ice cream is not eaten as a meal, and anything that is used as a snack is always going to be 0 or greater unless it's something like alfalfa sprouts. Okay, so if we, so you're looking at this, I would then just kind of scan down and see if I recognize any of the names. Like if you like Breyer's product, there you go. There's some Breyer's product there. If you like Edie's, there's that. There's the Enlightened, Halo Top, all kinds of stuff. Okay, so anything to do with ice cream is right there. So lots and lots of choices. But remember, these are good to use the wow challenges with it. Good, Dawn. Awesome. I like to use the wow challenges. You know, if you really having a hankering for some ice cream, you could do a wow challenge, or you could use it as a snack. You can use it as a snack. All right. Okay, so Janet is asking a really great question. She says, I'm confused. You can't have a 2 and 3, so not asparagus with sweet potato. You can have a 2 and 3, but you've got to add a 1 to it because a 2 and 3 is not an approved combo. So, so real quick, y'all, if y'all have any questions about the food library, let me know, but we're going to go ahead and I'm going to check off just saying, once you've done your brainstorming and all of that, then you can check that box off. I just want you to know how to use the food library. So let's go right here, Janet. We're going to go to lap 6 and I'm going to pull up our main combination chart. Okay. Nowhere on this chart does it say that you can have a 2 and 3 together alone. You can't do a 2 and 3 together. So let's scan on here. First of all, I know that there are no 3s in the red column and the yellow column, so I'm going to go ahead and look at the blue column. All right, so there's a 3, so there's a 2, and there's a 3 right there. But you're never going to see a 2 and a 3 without a lean protein. So on that meal, Janet, if you wanted to add a piece of chicken or 96% lean ground beef or pork tenderloin or turkey breast or something like that, you could do that. You just can't have a 2 and 3 by itself. You're welcome. You're welcome. So basically, when you see something that's in the food library and it says that it's a 2 and 3 together, that just means, you've got to do the application and say, oh, 2 and 3 is not approved. I need to add a category 1 to that. Yes, yes. All right. Well, we've done lap 3 today. Tomorrow is lap 4. That is recipe library, creating a grocery list, and it's so much fun. So y'all make sure that you come back tomorrow night at 7:30 for lap 4. And if you need to go back and work on some of those other laps, please do that. And if you need to watch Sunday and Monday night webinar, please do that, because the Sunday night webinar is all about the lifestyle overview. I am actually an FAA certified drone pilot. Okay. If I flew my drone straight up into the air over a piece of property to get an overview for that property, I would be able to see everything from that viewpoint. But if I want to see something really close up, you got to fly that thing all the way down and see something up close. That's Monday night on the food combining. Okay. Sunday night is the whole lifestyle overview. Monday night is that food combining. So make sure you go back and watch those. And then what I do, lap 3 through lap 7, Tuesday night through Saturday night, is to show you kind of how to use all the features of the website. Basically, helping to shorten your learning curve on learning the website. Okay, so Becky is asking about collagen. So what I'm going to do, feel free to hang on with me, y'all. I'm just going to go ahead and share this because I love it when questions are asked because on the webinars, because I want to show it. So we're going to go right here to collagen, and you can see I've typed it in before, and because I've been asked it before, but I can't remember because I don't use it and I forget. So, unless you are using something a lot, you tend to forget. So all of these things are approved. So you could have yours approved and looked at, Becky, or just see if it's already on there. But let's just look at, this one because it's a -3. So let's look at this one, Live Conscious Collagen Peptide. This one's actually a lean protein. So 1 serving as a category 1 collagen supplement. Okay, so that's a supplement. Okay, that's not giving me the answer that I want. So if it's not giving me the answer that I want, I would ask it in the Shibboleth food library. I would ask it in the Shibboleth Fixed It Facebook group. Let's look at this sports research collagen peptides. Okay, so it's a lean protein or an extra. 1 scoop is an extra, or up to 2 scoops as a category 1. So if you are using 1 scoop, Becky, I would call that an extra. That would be your extra for the day. So that's how I would classify that, Becky, as your extra. Hope that helps. All right, y'all join me in the morning for the Shibby Show. It's just a Monday through Friday little morning show that I do. It is a way for us to focus our day and to have morning motivation, daily devotion. You're welcome, Becky. And as we go off, keep them safe day and night. Give them courage, strength, and might. Because you're going to need that courage to break old habits and form new ones. You're going to have strength to do it, and you can be mighty. All right, you can do it. So everything we tell you is there to keep you safe. Y'all have a great night.